Hi, it's Frederick from iVisible. Today I would like to speak to you about Cynthia G, and I would like to respond to one of her video which she titled White Man Exposes the Truth About Black Men. And I think people were able to call in and give their opinions about the topic. And at some point, I think it was about 30 minutes, 23, something like that, around that time, one of the speaker, so she had another two people with her. I think one of them is her sister, and the other one is Tina. I'm not sure who she is, but she was trying to explain. So Tina was trying to explain that she doesn't understand why Cynthia thinks that every black man on the planet is bad for black women. The sound is not great, but I want you to listen what Tina was saying to Cynthia.
These people that own the stuff, and I'm gonna go date them. But how is that really gonna change? I mean, eventually, I'm gonna be them. That's the only way it's gonna change.
Because if you need a job so that you can feed your family, a black man is not about to give you one. Because even when black men do own businesses, they hire primarily white people. They don't really employ black people when they own businesses. Most of the people they employ are white. Black men.
Everywhere, like even in Atlanta. Well, I need to ask because I don't know this, and this is just like so in Atlanta and in these black places.
So maybe you should do the research because I actually have done
I
it.
am going to because that's very interesting. I would never have guessed that because when I was in Houston and I would go into like certain places like barber shops and even the little grocery stores and stuff like that, it they some were owned by black people and there were black people in there.
I wanted to react because I found that propaganda a bit too much to handle because it seems that Cynthia does not understand that there are many women suffering around the world because of men. It's not just black women. So I'm going to show you a few pictures that I found on YouTube that show how women in general are suffering, whether they're black, white, Asian, any color, they do suffer. So I found this video. It's an Asian man who is slapping his wife. He was very violent with her. I think he has been arrested after. So as you can see the pictures scrolling down. What else? There is this woman. So here you can see a black woman telling her story. Another two white female. There is this man who has a podcast. Yeah, I think it's a podcast about domestic abuse, but the survivors are men. Here, there is another woman, black woman, telling a story. Here, Aljazeera, I believe it's Aljazeera, I'm not sure, just put on a documentary about domestic abuse. Another black woman, I think she's black, but it doesn't really matter. And then I want to spend some time talking about how Asian women are suffering greatly because of their men. There are many killings, as you can see on the video, happening in Asia. When I say Asia, I should be clearer, is India, Pakistan, Afghanistan. There is this famous case about a woman who has been stoned to death. There was a woman in Afghanistan who was 27 years old and has been killed by a mob of men and wrongly accused of burning the Quran. As you can see on the pictures, it was a mob. It was not even a gang with a few members. It was a mob. Imagine the fear of this woman trying to escape. Also, it's important to add that according to the World Economic Forum, 6 women are killed every hour by men around the world, most by men in their own family or their partners. And in the UK, it's every 3 days. So I wanted to point that out because global pandemic of feminism is real. And with the COVID-19, violence against women has exploded. And also, it's not about love. There's no love in the relationship with their husband. They are meant to serve their in laws' family. They cannot control their body in terms of pregnancies. Even in New York, I think there were a case where a woman has been killed, as you can see in the picture here. And I wanted to spend also some time talking about Saudi Arabia, where women have very little rights. They need to be constantly under the surveillance of a man. They cannot work if they do not have the approval of a man, their husband, or their son. And they can be killed at any time because their lives do not matter. I remember another case, very important, that involved two beautiful sisters, Amina and Sarah, who has been killed by their father because of one of them had a boyfriend. Can you imagine? This is really heartbreaking to me. Oh yeah, I forgot to talk about this Australian woman who has been beaten by her husband. There's another woman who has been killed with an axe by her ex-boyfriend. So I think we should not forget that domestic abuse and violence against women is very common, not only in the black community, but everywhere. And finally, I would like to show you a picture of a MP in the UK who shared her experience of abuse in the House of Commons. So domestic abuse and violence against women is not just touching the poor woman, it's also the rich, the white, the black, the Asian, every woman at any age. I think it was important for me to say it that way because I was just not convinced that what Cynthia G was saying was accurate, and I don't agree with what she's saying right now about black men. So that's my point of view. Although I will keep listening to Cynthia because I do like the way she presents her argument, and also I do feel like she has a space that is very welcoming, and I love hearing her. And yeah, that's it for me. Please let me know what you think about the video, and I'll speak to you very soon. Thanks for listening. Bye.